What is up, YouTubers? My name is Mr. CEO Alex, and I'm finally back with another YouTube video. I know, guys, it's been a long while since I've made a YouTube video, but I'm back and I'll be here to make new content for you guys. A lot of persons have been DMing me on Instagram asking me what's up with the YouTube videos. I've been trying to get a place and I finally got a new place, so I'm settled now and I'm ready to provide you guys with some videos. So if you are not already a subscriber, please make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out any videos. And if you aren't as yet, you can follow me on Instagram at mr.ceo.alex on Instagram. I have a bunch of free contents there as well. So let's just jump into it. This week I'll be doing 7 weekly and 7 analysis for the upcoming week. So we are going to start off with GBP CAD. So let's get into it. At this time, we can see that pound CAD is currently in a range, as you can see, based on these two areas right here and right here. We can see where price is currently ranging in this area. We can see where price, once price reaches this area, we had a fake out, then an immediate up, and then a come down back to this area, then back in this area, then come back down. So it's just ranging in this area. So obviously, the smart thing to do when you're trading in a range is to buy at the support and sell at the resistance, right? So currently, as we can see, last week price ended with this massive wick, right? And if you look to the left as well, we can see where right here was an area where price respected as well, which is around 1.1.68750 in the market for GBP CAD. We can see where price came to the major key area but closed in this area. So this week is a nice week for us in the market. This is the weekly time frame, so let's just go down to the daily time frame. And as we can see on the daily time frame, we are already seeing that price is currently moving to the upside for GBP CAD. So what I'm expecting for price to do is to provide us with a break and a retest on the intraday time frame. Once we get that confirmation, then we can actually look to go long back into these areas. And if price breaks that area, then we can look for a break and retest as well, because we can see where right here is a major key area in the market where price rejected multiple times and then finally break down to the area. So if price actually breaks that area, then we can actually look for a break and retest, and then we can go to the upside of GBP CAD, which is the major resistance area. So if we are actually looking for a buy from this area, that should be around 689 pips if you are a swing trader for GBP CAD. So this is an interesting pair to look for in the upcoming weeks, and that would be my bias for GBP CAD. So let's go into the next one. We can go to odd CHF. Let's see what odd CHF is doing. Odd CHF is not really one of my favorite pairs, but let me just go back to the weekly time frame so we can see what's going on. And by the way, guys, if I have a little if you hear any little sound, it's because I installed braces, guys. I installed braces. That shit hurts. But anyways, all right. So if we are on the weekly time frame, this is a good bullish sign. This is a piercing bullish candle where we have a bearish engulfing candle and then the immediate bullish engulfing candle close exactly at the same level. So that means that this is a piercing candle and we are having the same momentum in the market. Usually after this we have a slight pullback and then a continuation to the upside. So let's see what we are doing. We are at a weekly resistance in the market, which is which is 0.66. And as you can see, the prior week closed below 0.66, and this week also closed below 0.66. It actually closed 0.65997. So we are expecting a minor pullback on the daily time frame for AUDCHF. Where Let me look on the 4-hour time frame to see if we can find something. I did locate a asymmetric triangle and a slight breakout of this area, but I'm not sell bias because price actually rejected this area. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, this is a 2 hour time frame. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, we can see that even though price break the asymmetry triangle, we are having depletion in the bears in the market, right? And we can also see that right here acted as support. We can see numerous wick rejection right here. We can also see wick rejection right here, and we see wick rejection right here. So it is a confirmation that price might actually rally to the upside. The Aussie dollar is very strong. I am expecting for price to continue to the upside for this. If not, we might get a slight pullback to these areas. We might get a slight pullback to this area or this area in the market. Let me look at the line chart. So you might actually get a slight pullback in this area or this area, but it sounds like it might be this area because we had a lot of demand in this area, a lot of supplies, so we're just expecting for price to come back in this area. So once we get some sort of confirmation from that, we might get more pullback. We might get a deeper pullback to this area or even to this area, and then a continuation to the upside. So I'm actually looking forward for that, because if we look to the left side as well, we can see where price is respecting these zones before actually bullish move. So we can actually look for a deeper pullback. And also if we look on the 1 hour time frame from a bigger perspective, guys, let me zoom out and show you guys. We are seeing kind of an inverted head and shoulder pattern right here. So this is where the left side of the shoulder started, right? And this is the head, right? So we are expecting some right side of the shoulder to come back at least in this area before a continuation back into this area, which is 0.67250. Now for me, I'm not a big fan of these pairs because the pip count is very small. So I'm not really a big fan of these pairs. But if you are trading this pair, then this is also a good pair to look for in the upcoming weeks. So let's just continue. We're going to everybody's favorite cash pot. I'm just kidding. GBPJPY. All right. So let's go back to the weekly time frame and see what's going on. So if we look on the weekly time frame for the GBPJPY, we were having yang strength, and we are currently at a weekly support, and we are just waiting for confirmation to find out what we should do, if we should buy or sell the pound yen. Now, based on the trend of the market, we can actually see where we're still kind of bullish long term, right? This was a very strong bullish rally, so we were expecting some sort of depletion in the market, right? Now if we look to the left side, the first support area that price came to was right here, right? And then price continued to the upside to make a new higher high, but then end up coming back down and confirm it again as support. And we had a lot of buyers that pushed the market to the upside. However, there was a lot of sellers still in the market from this area, right? And price was also creating lower highs, so sellers were coming in each time. So sellers came in and pushed price back to this area again, right? And then we had buyers again. Then price created another lower high, and then price created a bullish rally to the upside, right? But even though price created a new high, we were expecting for price to create a lower high, but price didn't do that. It came back again in the support area. So we are kind of just waiting to see what's going to happen, if price is actually going to break this weekly support, because it might potentially break this weekly support. If we look to the left side, we can see that bears are in the market. We can see that this is a strong bearish engulfing candle. We can see that this is another bearish engulfing candlestick, and then we can see that this is another bearish engulfing candlestick. So this is a lot of bears in the market, so I wouldn't actually be looking for buys at this time on a weekly perspective. I'm actually sell biased still in the market, because what I was actually looking for is for price to break these areas and to actually close above 150 67, but it actually didn't. It closed below 150 67. It actually closed below 150 500 actually. That's the major key area, the psychological level in the market. If you don't know, the banks like to trade at even numbers. So 150.500 is the major key area, and price did not close above that area. It actually closed below. So my perspective for pound yen is that we might have a continuation to the downside for pound yen. And if we do break this weekly support, then we are going to have a massive sell off in the markets, because we had a massive rally in the market, and price is actually trying to fill those order blocks that everyone that just kept buying and pushed the market all the way to 156. Price is actually trying to come back down to get more buyers to actually try to push the market higher, right? So remember, buyers like to buy prices cheap, and right now the yen was overpriced, and that's the reason why the pound yen is actually coming down. So I do believe that price might actually come down a little bit more, but let's see. So yeah, I'm definitely sell biased still on pound yen. Let's go to the daily time frame to see what's going on. What Before I go to the daily time frame, I want to show you something on the weekly time frame. This is my concern. This looks like the left side of the shoulder, and we are having like a head right there. So I'm kind of expecting for price to kind of come back right here, right, to get a deeper pullback and then a continuation down. So if price actually breaks 150 and then continues to the upside, I'm looking for price to come back at least 153. So now that I say that, let's go to the daily time frame, because I want to show you guys an important aspect that price is doing right now for pound yen. Now if we look on pound yen, right, Jesus please. Okay, if we look on pound yen, right, as I said, that there were buyers that came into the market right here, and then we had a slight pullback. We had a push, then an exhaustion, and then a slight push, right? These wicks are confirmation that the bears tried to push the market down, but the buyers kept holding price, right? So what I'm actually looking for, if price actually breaks 150,500 next week, or this week that we're coming up, what I'm actually looking for is for a break and a retest, and then a continuation to the upside around 153. Like I said, 153 is a major key area, or 152, because that's where the last lower high came. And usually whenever price makes a support, and then and then a pullback, and then breaks that support area, we are expecting for price to come back to this area to confirm it as resistance to continue to the downside. So the weekly is currently lining up that price is actually going to continue to the upside and then make a continuation to the downside, because the bias is still bearish. Okay, and if we look, we can see that this is the brick wall that price is making, right? This is the big wall that price is making. So I want to see a deeper pullback for pound yen before I actually go sell pound yen, right? But you have to be careful, because the market moves how it wants to move. So let's just wait and see. And if we also look to the left side, we can also see that right here acted as support, and right here it's currently acting as support. So we had a break of this resistance, because support turns resistance, a break of resistance, and now we're confirming it as support, and then a continuation. So again, I want to see pound yen do a little break and retest of 150,500, and then a continuation to the upside before I can go bullish on pound yen. The same thing is going on with euro JPY. We had this massive sell off to the downside, and then price came back to this weekly support area, right? Then we had a lot of consolidation in the market, and then we finally broke the brick wall, and then we had a indecision candle, then finally a bullish candle, and then a bearish candle to confirm it as support, and now we're having this pin bar on the support area. So we can look for buys in the market to come back all the way to at least 130,500. If we look to the left side, we can see that price respected that area numerous times. We had one, two, a double top right here. Then price came back right there and confirmed it as resistance again. But before price reaches 130,500, we might get a slight resistance at 129,500. We might get a resistance at 129,500 because that was an area where price respected as well on the daily time frame for EJ. So we might get a retest for there. So let's see. It also looks like an inverted head and shoulder pattern for EJ. We had a left side of the shoulder. We have a head right there. So we are looking for the right side of the shoulder to confirm right there, to confirm the inverted head and shoulder pattern. Pound CHF, not one of my favorite pairs, but we are seeing bears dominating the market for pound CHF. If we look, we can see that a lot of resistance are being respected. We can see that price came here, acted as support, confirmed right here as resistance, then a broke, and then a fake out, then come back down, and then acted as resistance, and then a continuation to create a lower low, sorry, and then price came back up again to make a new high, which is in these areas, as you can see, and then it respected that area. So this was support, went back up, and then it broke that support area, confirmed it as resistance, and now price is coming back down. We are seeing depletion in the bulls in the market. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame to see what's going on the 4-hour basis. If you were on my my Instagram, my IG live, you would have caught this bearish move, this 1-hour bearish move. I did call out this movement. What I did say that is that price created a double top right here, right? This was a slight fake out of the resistance, and then price came back down, and what I wanted was price to respect this area and gave me a rejection. Price did give me the rejection, and we took the sell right there and we rode it down to this area. So we did get a nice trade for pound CHF on Friday for this pair, and as you can see, price came back up and started to consolidate. So yeah, that's the analysis for pound CHF. Now the pound New Zealand, this is a good pair. I'm looking on a nice setup for pound New Zealand. We can see where price respected this area on the weekly basis. We can see where one touch, two touch, 3, 4, and then price didn't touch right here, but it came close, which was the neckline of the W right here, and then acted as resistance, as it acted as support. Now if we look on the line chart, we can actually see that we are having a little bit of inverted head and shoulder pattern. We have the left side of the shoulder right here, the head, so we are probably expecting the right side of the shoulder to continue the inverted head and shoulder pattern to at least 1.99 on the weekly time frame. Now, if we go back to the candlestick pattern, we can see that we got the retest, but I still usually with this pattern we might get another pullback before a continuation of the market on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame to see what's going on. On the daily time frame, we can see it a little bit clearer, but what I'm expecting for, because price is currently at a resistance slash support area, so what might happen this week, we might get a pullback again in this area, and then a continuation creating like a W pattern. So that's what I'm kind of expecting for price to do, to actually make the the inverted head and shoulder pattern a little bit more cleaner on the weekly time frame or the daily time frame. So if you look, you can see it. Left side, the head, I want the right side to be a little bit cleaner right here to come back to this area. So I'm looking for buys at least around 93,750 in that area to go bullish to around 99. So this is a good risk to reward pair. I am thinking this would be around 500 pips. So that's a good trade. You can actually look forward for pound New Zealand for this week. And the last pair for this week is Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin we are currently having a lot of bears in the market. We've actually hit a resistance in the market right here, and then price came tumbling down. So we are currently back in a buy zone. So we are looking for the bulls to come back into the market right there. Let's go to the daily time frame and see what's going on. So it's a little bit clearer. If you go to the line chart, we can see that right here acted as resistance. Right here acted as resistance, right here as support, right here as resistance. So we can see that price is currently at a major key area in the market. So we would definitely need an intraday pattern to confirm right here acting as support before we can actually go bullish on the Bitcoin pair. Or else if it doesn't, then we might actually get a break and retest, right? Break and retest of this area, and then a continuation to this area, which is another key area in the market as well. We can see that a lot of wick rejections happened right here. Resistance, resistance, resistance acted as support. So we might get an even deeper an even deeper pullback in the market to around 40,600 in for Bitcoin before we can actually continue to the upside. As you can see, the last time that price came back to this area, we had that massive bullish rally. So we might get some sort of, we might either have right here or right here as well, because this is the neckline of this W. As you can see, this is the W, right? And each time when price creates a W, price always comes back to the neckline of the W to continue to the upside. So we can look for buys either. Let's We can look for buys either in this area or this area, this area or this area for Bitcoin. So that's my weekly analysis for this week, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can comment down below to let me know if you'd like for me to continue this as a series. Your comments motivate me, guys. I definitely need those. If you did learn something, please make sure you like this video. It really helps YouTube to spread this video all across Jamaica and across the world so that other Forex traders can actually learn new stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Mrceoalex, guys. I would really appreciate it. If you like Forex signals, you can definitely send me a DM. I do have Forex signals available, so you can definitely hit me up for that as well. And that's it for this week. Peace.